coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Kickstart your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, but thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
All right. It's time to live our best lives. Eric F. King here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Motivational Monday with me and my special guest speakers. I have here Annie Osong from Europe and Zion Enegru from Nigeria with me today. And we are so excited to share some nuggets with you about our topic. And we want to hear from you. Okay, this is going to be interactive. So if you are watching us now on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you are, let us know in the chat. Just say hi. Say this is, well, you don't have to say your name. We'll probably see your name, but tell us where you're zooming in from. We see Mary already here. She goes, woohoo, let's go. Mary's already here. Welcome, Mary. Welcome. So we're going to talk about self-care, right? And I never used to think about self-care, to tell you the truth. Right? I'm always thinking about work hard, help people, make money, leave a legacy, right? So, I had a speaker. Actually, my sister had a speaker at her event, her last event, Dr. Canal, and she talked about self-care, maintaining physical, mental, emotional well-being. And it got me thinking more about self-care. Okay. So today we're going to talk about that, talk about what is it, different ways that we can actually have more self-care in our lives, right? Because it's important. Because, I think it was Annie that was saying it. It doesn't matter how successful you are if you end up in a hospital, It doesn't matter how successful you are if you get old by the time you're 45 and you can't even do anything. What I mean? So we have to take care of ourselves. All right. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to send it to my good friend in the UK to start it off. Okay. And then I'll come on, share some nuggets with you. Then we'll go to Zion and then we'll take your questions. So if you can put your questions in the chat, Okay, Medlin, Mary, whoever else is on, put your questions in the chat as we start this discussion. And send the messages to a couple of people. I found out that there's a time change, I think in UK. And when the time changes, sometimes people don't know when the call is. So anyway, let people know. All right, so let's get started. I want to bring out my good friend, the guy that makes you famous, the marketing genius, to talk about self-care today. And, he actually introduced me to LinkedIn, and because of him, that's why I'm on this platform, and I love this platform. So, Annie Osong, the floor is yours.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, my friends. Say, of course, self-care, how we feel, looking after ourselves, is a hugely important part of, I think, doing business. You can't, for entrepreneurs, like you just said, Eric, you can't just work hard and then die. That's not the aim of life, right? That's just not the aim. I'm into working very hard. Of course I am. And I truly believe you have to work hard to achieve anything. But, we have this weird reality, my friends, where if we are not alive, if we're not healthy, if we're not feeling good, we can't work. Let's start there, right? And I don't want days. I don't want days off. I don't want weeks off. I don't want months off. I don't want a chronic illness. Of course I don't, because I can't work when those things happen, right? So for me, I've had to face up to the self-care reality, and self-care being so important reality, because I want to carry on working, and I can't deliver to my clients if I don't look after myself. For a long time I thought this is just Willie. It's just Willie talk. It's just it's maybe it's even women talk. It's not. This is not sensible. This is not what we want to be talking about. But believe you me, Self-care is the most important thing in business. Because without your health, you have no wealth. That's that. What now? Think of those words, my friend. No health, no wealth. That's the truth, right? See, again, we live in a weird world where people make money. So many people work very hard, make good money, excellent money, and then they spend all the money trying to get well again. That's the weirdism, right? It doesn't make sense to work so hard, earn the money, and then just spend it on health. Instead, look after your health. The reason I say it doesn't make sense is simply because you know there's a harsh reality about health and health conditions. The reality is this: once you get sick, you're more prone to get sick again and again and again. And once some illnesses you never come back from. So let me talk about burnout for a second. So burnout is that feeling, is that place where you take yourself to when you've just exhausted everything. You've exhausted yourself mentally, emotionally, physically. And some people go to extremes when they feel burnt out. They literally go to the edge. It's not worth living. You see, now you think, okay, I don't want to get burnt out. Of course, I don't want to get burnt out. So those who do get burnt out, and don't take extreme action, essentially they can't work ever again. That's what I know for a fact. I've seen many friends who achieved great success in business at a young age and literally got burnt out. Now they're of course they're alive and doing, but they're not doing what they were doing before. They're not at the level they were because they've been so changed by their illness. See, self-care has to be your priority. Prevent the illnesses in the first place, and then you can at least begin to move forward. See, again, of course, I'm well aware that we're talking about two things here today: hard work and what are your limits? How far can you go? Again, I've had business partners who say, "Oh, I can't do that because I don't want to get burnt out." I understand, but how do you know where your limit is? If you don't do, how are you going to know that you can do? It's a weirdism. Look, I guess what I've learned, in my life is maybe it's down to two or three things, right? First thing is listen to yourself. I have to listen to my body. I'm learning to listen to my body more and more every day. See, when I get to the edge of exhaustion, my body tells me, yeah, your body tells you too, my friends. Don't think I'm unique, right? Because your body never lies. Start there, right? If you are feeling exhausted, if you're feeling tired, take some time out to recharge your batteries. If you're feeling as if you don't what you're doing is not interesting anymore, again, do something different, right? Do something. See, my worst health issues linked to exhaustion come from that. I tend to have toothache. I tend to have aches and pains in places I don't normally have aches and pains. Don't put yourself, if you feel those pains, my friend, I've learned to just switch the computer off and have a few days of, go and do something I actually like doing. Time with family, time with friends, and so on and so forth, right? So I think that's the first step. The second thing I would say to anyone is find your purpose. Find that thing that you like, that you love doing. If you can't do what you love doing, find the purpose in what you are doing. Find the joy. If you're in a job, for example, Eric, and you think your job is boring, reframe that. Find the joy. I'm here because this is a step to my future that I want to have. That's a reframe, right? See the purpose in it. See the purpose in what you're doing. That will give you more energy, more impetus, more enthusiasm. The last thing I'll say is, whether you're a working professional or a business owner, literally work out your cadence, work out your flow. We'll work at that flow. There's things we like doing, the speed we like doing it, when we like doing it, how we like doing it. Right? Find your flow. Once you find your flow, you can do more of being in flow. That's probably my best advice to you on the self-care conversation, my friends. Hopefully that
No,
makes sense. Look, find what
absolutely.
you like doing, find out, and literally find that flow, and you'll be happier for a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And you are so right. Too many people spend their entire life doing something that makes them miserable. Like, people will get a job and will stay at that job and complain about that job for 30 years. And like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, you know what I mean? And one of the reasons is they're so consumed by what people tell them to do, right? So you go to school, you get a degree, and then they expect you to work in the area of your degree. And if you don't, they talk about you. And if they talk about you now, you don't want to offend people, so you go do what they tell you to do, and now you're miserable doing it. Isn't it crazy? Right? Some of you don't know that I have a law degree. I went to law school and I got a law degree. And when I started practicing, I realized I didn't enjoy it at all. So I went back to sales. So I don't talk about it because I don't use it. But my parents were like you're not gonna practice law anymore. And then my mom said, "What am I gonna tell my friends?" I said, "Tell her whatever you want. I'm gonna be happy. I can't stand the practice of law." Right? So here's the thing. You can't worry about what people say. First of all, do what makes you happy. That's the number one thing about self-care. Right? You don't care about yourself if you're doing what everybody tells you to do. All right. So I'm gonna by the way, there's a lot of LinkedIn users. I don't know why people aren't putting their name in here or something. Anyway, Spencer, welcome, Spencer. Matthew, good to see you. Let's see. There's a lot of LinkedIn users. I don't know why, but anyway, welcome everybody. Good to see everybody. So put in your questions, okay? So just start with question and then put in your question there. All right. So I'm going to give you seven quick tips on self-care. Now, let me just preface this by saying that I am actually not an expert on self-care because some people would call me a workaholic, but I don't consider myself a workaholic because I do what I love to do and I can do it any time of the day. Okay, it's fun for me that what I do doesn't bring me any stress, zero stress. Doing this event, zero stress. Coaching people on sales, zero stress. Inviting people to my stage, introducing people, giving them an award, zero stress. I love that, and that's what I do for a living. So I'm grateful to God that God has given me something that I love to do every day of my life, and I'm able to make a great living at it. Right. Writing books, right? All these things make me happy, right? So I do what makes me happy. So I say I'm not an expert because I don't teach self-care, but I know what I should be doing. So let's talk about what I should be doing. I know what I should be doing. All right. Number one, set boundaries. Set boundaries. Learn to say no. Very important. Look, people call me all the times. Someone sent me a message, Eric, let's do this together. We need to write this book together. We need to do this program together. We need to they just want something. And I said, actually, it doesn't align with what my goals are right now. I'll get back to you if it does. I say no every day because if I say yes to everything, I'll just be pulled all over the place and I'll never get anything done and I'll be stressed out. Right? So learn to say no. You have to learn to say no because some things are just doesn't align with your goals and dreams. Right? I have certain goals and dreams, and whatever doesn't align, I can't do it. I can't do it right now. Okay, that's number one. Number two is exercise regularly. Now, I exercise. I should exercise more. I really should. But I know the importance of exercising regularly. It's not just for health, it's for mental state too. It reduces stress, right? Exercising is good for you, it's good for your body. My sister tells me to exercise more. She's a doctor, right? She tells me to exercise more. I like taking walks. So I live up by the beach and I like taking walks on the beach. That's my exercise. I know. I wish I could say I lift 300 pounds a day or 400 pounds. I don't. I don't. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, right? I walk on the beach. All right. So exercise more. Number two. Number three is prioritize sleep. Prioritize sleep. You're supposed to sleep, they say 7 to 9 hours. Now, some people don't need as many hours as others, but sleep is important because you need to rest your body, right? You need to rest your body. If you get in a habit of not sleeping enough, it causes all kinds of problems. So sleep is important. I know that's another thing. I know what time I have to go to bed every night. So it doesn't matter. Like, I shut off everything. I shut off my phone. I shut off everything, and I go to bed, right? Um, and I don't let anybody else's schedule, right, interfere with mine, right? So in other words, if you go to bed at 10 and someone's saying let's meet at 11, can't do it. Sorry. We can schedule it for 9, right? Don't just change every time someone tells you to do something. Okay, don't just stick to your schedule, right? There's obviously some exceptions, right, here and there, but you want to stick to your calendar. Okay, all right. So that's let's see, exercise number 2, practice number 3. Number 4 is eat nutritious food. That's important, right? Sometimes when we get busy, I used to travel a lot. I used to do a lot of professional speaking. So I was always traveling and in different states, right? And I won't eat well because sometimes I have to go for a speech. I don't have time to sit down and eat, and I just to get a snack, right? And I wasn't eating well, right? So, you want to eat well as much as you can. And a lot of it comes down to money too. Like, a lot of it comes down, at least in America, like, you can't, if you don't have money, you're eating at McDonald's, you're eating bad food every day. If you don't have money. But if you have money, you're eating better food, right? You go to the store, get organic food or whatnot. So just be mindful of what you put in your mouth, right? Just be mindful of what you put in your mouth. I'm trying to read this as I'm talking. Yes, yes. Water, fruits, organic food. Mary says yes. That's good. That's good. Yeah, very good, Mary. Yeah, so stuff like that. Stuff like that. All right. Number 5, spend time in nature. So for me, I like to travel. I like to travel. So, and my sons love to travel. So we've traveled all over the world. And that to us is fun, right? Canada, I've been to South Africa. We've been to, where else? Mexico many times. And like all over, to us, that gets us out, and it's exciting, and it gets the juices flowing. We love to do that. So find what you love to do, right? Some people like walking in the park. I don't like walking in the park. Why would I walk in the park? That's for me. That's for me, right? Right? Unless I want to impress a lady and she likes to walk in the park, we'll walk in the park. But do what makes you happy. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. Some people like to listen to music. Some people don't. I love to listen to music, right? So do what makes you happy. Okay. Number 6 is connect with loved ones and friends. That makes me happy, connecting with people, right? When I do my studio events and like people that I've met online and we meet together, that's fun. We did a mastermind in DC about I don't know 4 months ago, and a lot of people that I see online we met, and it was just so much fun, right? Getting to know people, connecting with people, and it doesn't have to be just family. Some people are closer to me. Some people that I meet online are closer to me than my family. Absolutely, because we see eye to eye on things. And I mean, not that I don't see eye to eye with my family, but some of them don't. They don't think like me, right? Maybe they're not entrepreneurs or what have you, right? So connecting with loved ones, and I'm not just online. You want to meet physically too. Okay, so I have an online business, but I do go to events. Like yesterday, I was at an event with maybe 100 people in live event, right, in person. So you want to do that as well. All right. So that's number 6. And then number 7, I would say, is laugh a lot. I laugh all the time. Laugh a lot. It's good for the health. Oh my goodness. Look, I can have the most frustrating thing happen to me and I'm going to laugh about it. And people are like, why are you laughing? What do you want me to do? Right? If something happens and there's nothing you can do, laugh about it. Laugh about it. And here's the thing: life is short, man. Like, you can't let things get to you where you're just frowning all the time. Laugh about it. Be happy. Be happy. Right? Um, be positive. Zion will talk about positivity. Right? People that you're friends with that don't make you happy, They don't need to be your friend. If someone calls you on the phone and after your conversation, you're feeling bad, block them, right? I only talk to positive people that make me happy. If you're going to call me to complain about your life and complain about the world and complain that the world is falling apart, no, it's not. The world isn't falling apart. That's what they tell you on the news. The news, like right now in the US, because we have our elections coming, everybody thinks the world is falling apart. The economy is bad. This is bad. This is bad. They want to make you fearful so you can vote for them so they can save your life. You're the only one that can save your life. Okay? Nobody can save your life. Kamala can't save my life. Trump can't save my life. I can save my life. All right. So don't get so fixated on what the media tells you to get fixated on. Some people right now are stressed out because of the elections. I'm like, why? Why are you stressed out because two people are running for office? Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? Why are you stressed out? I have nothing to do with you. You don't have much control. You have one vote. You really don't have much control. So don't worry about it. Anyway, let me keep moving. Let me keep losing. Let me keep moving. All right. So let me bring out my good friend. Yeah, that's right, Mary. Laugh instead of cry. Laugh. I mean, look, life is short, man. You gotta you gotta do things that just make you happy. It's your responsibility to make you happy, nobody else's. And if you're with someone that doesn't make you happy, get rid of them, find someone that makes you happy. I said it. Okay, Zion. Let me bring you on. My good friend Zion from Nigeria, Mr. Positive Energy. He will add positivity to your life. All right, Zion, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric and Mr. Eni. It's been a wonderful conversation so far. Learning from both of you. Like Mr. Eric said, we are not experts, but we are here to inspire you with our life and with our own story. And it got me laughing when Eric said laugh, because there is no better way to do it than to laugh. But one thing I want to share with you today is when I have a conversation with people, you might ask them, what do you want to do? They will tell you, oh, I want to make an impact in the world. I want to make a difference in the world. I want to leave a legacy. My reply will always be, the impact you want to make, the difference you want to make starts with you. And that's from your body. So you want to make an impact in the world, you want to make a difference with the world, it starts with you. The ability for you to be intentional about taking good care of yourself. Self-care is not selfish. Many people will say, oh, I have to take care of people. I have to look after people. Fine and good. But you have to look after yourself first, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give what you don't have. For you to consistently make an impact, for you to consistently make a difference in the life of other people, you have to consistently make a difference in yourself by taking good care of yourself. There's a popular saying that says, take care of your body because that's the only place you live in. It's not the house. It's not the building. It's your body. And I love there's so many tips that Mr. Eric has given when it comes to self-care. And I hope many persons are taking note. Why? Because you are important. Even the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. It didn't say more than yourself. It said as yourself. So the ability for you to love people, to support people, to be there for people, it's for you being there for yourself, taking good care of yourself, loving yourself. The many persons talk about, I want to love people, I want to be kind to people. How much kindness do you have towards yourself? How much love do you have towards yourself? These are things that you need to put into consideration when it comes to self-care. Your physical health, your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health. These are very, very important. One thing that self-care has really helped me to do, it has really helped me to keep better relationship with people. Yes, because building relationship with people starts with you. If you don't know how to do it with yourself, there is no way you can do it with other people. And that's why you have to practice self-care. I'm going to ask a question. I know I've been in this show before. How many of us are planning to start going to the gym at the beginning of the year, and right now you are still planning to? If you're in that category, just drop in the comment section. Because I used to be like that. I'll be like, okay, I'll go to the gym this month. Next week I'll go to the gym. I kept postponing it because, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. That's why self-care has to be intentional. The same way you are intentional about growing your bank account, you should also be intentional about looking after yourself. The same way you're intentional about growing your business, that's the same way you should be intentional about yourself. Because let me tell you, your business is as good as you. Your goal is as good as you. And how can you be good? By taking good care of yourself. Taking that time, you can start by the kind of food you eat. What kind of food do you eat? Do you really watch the kind of food you eat? For most people, they can consume anything consumable as long as they're filling their stomach. When it comes to being intentional about self-care, you don't have to consume everything that can fill your stomach. Consume something that can nourish you, that can be good to your health and your body. So eating good food is key. For most professionals, they will like, I'm busy, I cannot cook. I'm busy, I cannot eat cook food. It's all about snack, 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 snack. Snack is good because it's quick. But for you to stay healthy, there's need for you to eat good food, well-cooked food. There's a reason why they say 6 classes of food. It's not for a show off. It's not for the book knowledge alone. It's because they want you to intentionally have a meal that contains the 6 classes of food. I know we've studied all this in the kindergarten or in the lower classes, but this has to be from the foundation because they know that your health is important. Your health is very, very paramount. If there's one thing that self-care has done for me, it helped build my self-confidence. If you want to build your self-confidence, learn to take good care of yourself. Take good care of yourself. Exercise, look good, smell good, make sure you are tidy. Because I tell you, if you're not looking good, it can as well affect your speech. People might not want to listen to you. So these are things you have to pay key attention to because it's very, very important. Another point when it comes to self-care is I spoke about mentally because mental health is very, very important. It's key. Most people are in a place of so much negativity. Why? Because they don't know how to take care of their mental states. If you cannot take care of your mental state, that's where you are soaked up in the environment of so much negativity. And one way to overcome that by intentionally practice positive self-talk. When you begin to practice positive self-talk, it has a way of eliminating those negative self-thoughts that you have. So you have to be very intentional. Physically, take care of yourself. Emotionally, take care of yourself. Mentally, and also spiritually, take care of yourself. I talk about spiritually most of the time because I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, I believe in God. There is nothing I can do outside God. All the inspiration, all the motivation is because I'm in God. And by paying attention to my spiritual health has really helped me evolve and become a better person. So as much as you are being busy, learn to create a balance in all these parts of your life. A holistic view of yourself is very important because the key to longevity, the key to prosperity starts with you. And by doing that, taking good care of yourself, it's very, very important. So thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this conversation today. We are so glad to have you. I read the mic now to you, Mr. Eric.
All right. Wow, that was fire, as my son would say. That was fire. So appreciate that. Great nuggets. I want you all to, if you're watching right now, if you have any questions, this is a good time to put it in the chat so we can talk about it, right? Put it in the chat. Let's talk about it. For those of you that have comments, maybe something that you're going to start doing, do it. Like, I'm a big believer in taking action. I'm a big believer in taking action. Like, any event I go to, I write down 1 or 2 things and take action. Like, I don't just write down three books or notebooks full of information and go home. No, I circle 1 or 2 things and I do it right away, right? So if you all can just do one thing today, start today, then this call was worth it. But if you don't do anything, this call was a waste of time. You know what I mean? Do one thing. So let us know what you're going to do. Put it in the chat. And then if you have any questions, this is a good time to ask. I think there's a question here. Okay, no, that's a comment. Okay. All right. So I don't see any questions yet. So yeah. So let's just talk about what we think is what we should start doing, right? Like, again, because I believe that charity starts at home, right? So you want to start doing something. So for me, I'm going to intentionally This is what my sister says: drink a lot of water and eat a lot of fruit. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna drink a lot of water and eat a lot of fruit. One thing I did, which actually helped me, so maybe it'll help some of you. I have a weakness, and my weakness is I like cake and ice cream. Oh, that's my weakness. Yeah, I know, Annie, you're laughing. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, but don't leave a cake beside me. It will be gone. it's like leaving some scotch by an alcoholic. We call it ogogoro in Nigeria. That's right, leaving some ogogoro on the table, or it's gone. So anyway, yeah. So you know what I do? What I do is when I don't even go to that area of the store because I know I'm gonna buy some. I never buy cake or ice cream because I know I can consume it all day, all night. So what I do instead, I buy a lot of fruit. So I just have so much fruit. So I go to my kitchen. There's pears, there's grapes, there's watermelon. I just have to have fruit, right? So put yourself in a position to make it easy for you to accomplish your goal, right? Put yourself in a position to make it easy for you to. If you want to stop smoking, stop hanging around with smokers, okay? Because you'll never stop. You'll never stop if you hang around with smokers, right? So let me turn it back to my panel. Zion, Annie, share with us what you're going to be doing or what you've done that's worked for you. Zion, go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Eric. Now, when we were mentioning about cake and ice cream, it got me laughing because I'm in your shoes as well. Now, for your case, you have to go buy them. But for me, my sister make cake. She creates cake. And she does ice cream as well. So there is no way I can avoid these things. So what I do, whenever she's going to bake or she's doing all these things, I leave the house. I intentionally leave the house. I'm like, okay, I'm going out now because I know when I'm around, my hand must just go there, take some peas, just want to buy it. So you have to be very intentional about these things. It's very, very great. And one thing I'm also doing is I used to work out a lot, but then because of getting busy, I was limiting my workouts. I was like, okay, I'll go on Monday, then Friday. It used to be like every day for me. But I think one action step for me to take is to go back to my usual routine of working out every day. Because I tell you, whenever I work out, it makes my body feel good. My positivity level just increase. I just feel this energy. I become more happy. So by being intentional about going to the gym, for me, it's something I'm looking forward to. And I love when Mr. Eric mentioned about taking a lot of water. Please take water instead of beverages. Avoid the sweet drinks you are taking because sugar is more harmful to our body than we think.
Oh yeah.
Avoid sugar. Take water. For persons that are eating, what's next to them can be a beverage drink. They want to take it and instead of water. No, take water. Water is very important. No beverage drink can replace water. Water is very important in whatever you want to do. So be more intentional about these things because this is something I'm doing as well. It has really helped me and I know it can help you too. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you. We hear the crows crowing in the background. I love it. There are no crows where I am. Makes me feel like anyway. Takes me back. Takes me back. Eddie, do you have any comments?
See, my biggest hang up, my biggest issue is a sleep thing. It always has been. From when I was young. I said I can sleep 3 hours, I can sleep 2 hours. I still do a whole day's work.
Mm-hmm.
It's silly, I know it's ridiculous. It's not a way to be, right? And I can't say it enough. So when I do that, I get things just start going wrong. I get toothache. And before I used to think, I got toothache, my teeth are bad. And I feel exhausted. I get aches and pains. And you just think, something's going wrong somewhere. So only now I've had pieced it together and thought and realized it's all about sleep. If I don't sleep enough, I get ailments. And that's when I had to look at it and then talk to my coaches, and they said, no, your body then never lies to you. Your body tells you the truth.
That's true.
And when I start feeling odd, I will literally learn to sleep a few hours more. Last night I slept probably 6-7 hours, for example. I'm saying I learned to sleep more these days. And my thing is to carry on doing that. And I learned to look after myself by sleeping a bit more than I used to. There's no point burning the candle at both ends. which I've
That's
done
right.
for years. But because I love doing what I love doing. So I've been getting away with it, but I'm not going to get away with it forever, right?
Yeah.
And I must learn now to slow down. And of course, I exercise probably every day. I don't go to the gym every day. I've never been to the gym in my life, so sorry guys. What can I say, right?
we
you
have some
know,
honest people here today, folks. We're
yeah.
honest.
I'll be honest with you. Look, what I have got is a 15-year-old gym runner himself, but it doesn't. We don't go gym. We just buy everything for our house, right? So my son literally is. It looks like a muscle man, and he goes gym at school, right? But he insists on torturing his parents to exercise every day. We're tortured to do routines, and the exercise thing. When you say it, it sounds like a big thing. It sounds like get your gym gear on, drive to the gym, strut and pose, lift heavy weights. No, that's no one. Who does that, right? Who does that?
Yeah.
You see, my exercise comes down to, it's a load of push-ups, a load of press-ups, and a load of dips. Now, the dips has been the most important thing I've ever done in my life, really. There's parallel bars, right? That gymnasts have, where you're not 6 foot in the air, you're on the ground. So doing those dips, it's painful, but hell, you can do 10. Before I make tea, Eric, I have to do some dips, right?
Yeah.
Every day, if I can drink my tea, I have to do my dips and then drink my tea. So I end up doing quite a few dips in the course of a day. 50, 100 sometimes. The more tea I drink, the more pain I feel. But it helps. And I said, I think little things like that. I know people who stand on one leg when they're making their tea, for example. I said, there's little things, right? Some do star jumps, some just do something little. Get your body moving. Now these days, so the last one I'll leave you with, Eric, is that now I haven't sat down to work for nearly a month because I haven't got a desk and chair to sit on while I work, so I have to stand up. That's exercise in itself, right?
Yes.
There's little things that we can all do to keep ourselves moving rather than sitting down like what we've done for years. And we see the toll on our weight, on our health. Don't ignore it. Do something about it, right?
Absolutely.
There are many questions, Eric.
Okay.
I can
Yes.
see,
I'm gonna get to the questions.
okay. Let me stop talking.
I was just gonna say I do push-ups and sit-ups, but I don't do it around my sons because they want to compete with me because they're athletes. And let me tell you something. I'll tell you this real quick story. So my 16-year-old, he's an athlete. I mean, he's 6'1", he's taller than me. He has all these biceps. Everything. So he said he wanted to compete with me in what do you call this? Arm wrestle. I think it was 14, 15. So we arm wrestled. Now I beat him, but barely. Like it was really hard, right? Barely. So the next day he said, Dad, he said, my arms are hurting. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done an arm wrestle with you. I said, well, that's what you get. He didn't know that my arms were hurting too, but I didn't tell him, right? So then the year goes by and he's lifting weights every day. He said, Dad, let's do it again. I'm like, no. Look, where I come from, your kids have to respect you, and I don't want to lose respect. So no more arm wrestle because they're too strong. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, first question. Is it Theo Fenu? I'm sorry if I messed up your name. But anyway, how do you train yourself in getting rid of bad habits? Great question. How do you train yourself? While they're thinking, because I could see Zion thinking. I could see him thinking. So while they're thinking, let me just tell you this. Like I said, put yourself in a position that will help you, right? If you're a smoker, don't hang around smokers. If you like to eat cake, don't buy cake, right? Like that. Put yourself in a position that makes it easy for you to overcome that habit. And then sometimes you have to replace it with something, right? So I replace the cake and ice cream eating with fruits, and I'm eating fruits every day, right? So that's the advice I would give. All right. Zion, do you have anything you want to share?
So for me, I think it's being honest with ourselves. This is what this comes down to, right? You know, we know the things we're doing that are not helping us, and everything we do is a choice. And the choice: do I do this or don't I do it? And we can decide. We'll decide instantly, right? You know, decide on a better habit. Here's the thing I will say: many of us want to do so. We want to stop doing the bad things, but we haven't figured out what the right thing is. You can't replace a bad habit with nothing. You must replace it with a good habit. And if you're not going to eat cakes like Eric, you have to eat fruit. You can't eat nothing.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not going to waste your time watching TV, you know, watching pointless Netflix programs for hours on end, what are you going to replace? What are you going to do in that time instead? I'm saying you have to learn to replace the bad with something good.
Yes.
And only by doing something good you enjoy, that you get into a habit of doing that instead, right? If you replace a habit you don't enjoy, it's not going to work because you're just going to go back to try and go back to where you were. So find the good habits, just do them bit by bit. If you fall off, jump back on the horse, so go back again and just carry on. Don't say because I didn't do the good habit today, I'm a terrible person. My life is ruined. No, that's not how it works. Just get back on the horse and do it again. Start again tomorrow. See how long you can keep it for that time. So that's what I would say.
Thank you.
For
Thank
anyone
you.
with bad habits.
That's great. Thank you so much. Great tips. Go ahead, Zion.
All right, thank you. That's a great question. When it comes to bad habit, getting rid of it, it's actually a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. So you must understand that. And if there's one thing I really learned, it's be accountable for yourself. Yeah, is that you're going to set a goal. Okay, for this week, I'm not taking anything like sugar. I'm going to be taking more water. At the end of the week, evaluate yourself how the progress so far. So when you continue to do that, it can really help you to overcoming the bad habits that you want to stop. And also have an accountability partner, someone that has to be on you. Because sometimes we can get so lazy and tired. Get a coach when it comes to things like this, especially when it comes to the area of working out. There are days I don't feel like working out. My coach will call me, Zion, are you not coming today? You have to do this routine today. If you're not coming, we're going to do it twice. So things like that just motivate me. Okay, I have to get off my feet and go to the gym. But you must understand that, bad habits are there so that we can grow. So you must be hungry enough to get better. You must be hungry enough to see improvement. And by so doing that, it brings intentionality for you to get rid of the bad habit. So thank you. That's my 2 cents on that.
Awesome. That's great. And that reminds me too, accountability, right? So you want an accountability partner. You want somebody that will hold you accountable, right? So if you get a gym membership and you don't go to the gym, but you have a friend that goes to the gym every day, go to the gym together, right? Then when they're like, are you here? Where are you? Can't find. I'm on my way, right? So you need somebody to hold you accountable. We all do. Like, don't rely on willpower. Willpower is not as strong as you think. It's not as strong as you think. You need somebody. You need someone to lean on. Very good. All right, next question. Missy says, what healing herbs do you take to keep your immune system strong and your mental thoughts positive? Okay, so I'm not going to give health advice. I'm not going to give that kind of advice because I'm not a doctor. So I'm not going to tell you what to take. But Zion, anything you want to share? I know vitamins are good, but I don't, I can't tell you specifically what to take.
Zion knows more than me. So I know Zion, he dives into his farming, so he probably knows more about food than me. Okay. Look, I try and keep, on the herb side, turmeric is probably one of the things that I've been told is good for you. I don't know whether it is or not, right? Because, I try, and I'm probably have it in most of my cooked food. I'm sure there's not another level where you can mix it into a drink. But turmeric, it's not cheap. It comes in a little jar, right? So mixing that into a drink sounds very like an expensive habit. I don't know whether I do enough of it, but that's an herb I really think about in terms of food that helps on that sort of level. Like I said,
Awesome.
Zion knows more than me, so I'll defer to him on this one.
Well, when it comes to herb, Mr. Annie, I'm not a fan of herb. But one thing I will always tell people I'm very good at is taking fruits, natural fruit, real fruits from the source, not the one that is preserved, but from the source. So for me, if there's one thing I want to advise people, it's very good for healing for your body. It take real fruits, not preserved fruits, but fruit fresh from the source. It's something that has really helped me over the years, and it has helped a lot of persons too.
Very good. Very good. And the lawyer in me has to give this disclaimer. This is not medical advice, folks. Nothing we say on this show is medical advice. Okay. Okay. Consult your doctor. This is all just educational information that we share. Okay. So don't say like Eric told me to take this and now I'm in the hospital. You can't sue me. I just gave you a disclaimer. All right. All right. So thank you, Missy. We appreciate you. And welcome everybody. Let's see. I'm gonna mess up this name. Estelle. Let me just call you your middle name so I don't mess up your first name. Estelle, thank you. Welcome. Bill, good to see you. Laverne, good to see you. Welcome. Christabel, welcome. Yes, water is important, Christabel. Thank you. Jay Pascal, he's here. It's been a while. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you. Victor, welcome. Thank you. Tolu, thank you for, she summarized everything I said. And that was so wonderful. Thank you, Tolu. We appreciate you. Coral from across the pond, she is here. We appreciate you, Coral, as always. Let's see. A lot of people, but there's a lot of LinkedIn user today for some reason. All right. So let's go to Coral. She asked a question. Let's see what Coral asked here. Coral says, how can self-care help entrepreneurs get clarity with their vision and goals, which can lead to focused decision-making? I think you just said it right there. You said it right there, Coral. That's what it does. It helps you with the visions and goals. Yeah. But if anybody else wants to add to that, but that's a great question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that for me, of course, if you're not healthy, you're worried about something. You're worried about something, right? You're worried about an illness, an ailment, a pain, something that's not right. And as business owners, I say, what we need is, first of all, to quieten our mind. Quieten. That's why we meditate, for example. You might think we're all weird, but those of us who do mindset practice and work on ourselves every day, we meditate because we need that quiet space in our minds where we find solutions to issues that we have to solve. Right? We find ideas. If you're worrying about toothache, like I often do, I'm saying you can't work your best when you're worried about something else, right? And I guess we want to be present in everything we do. Like when I'm talking to my staff, when I'm talking to my clients, when I'm doing the work, I don't want to be distracted by something that's wrong. I want to be fully present, engaged, involved. All that comes from feeling healthy. Feeling pain-free, feeling at your maximum energy to actually do the work you have to do, right? To actually deliver the solution that you're there to deliver. It's so important to truly make it to feel healthy. If you don't feel healthy, you can't make the right decisions, Carl. Your goals. Maybe you missed it earlier, Coral. I don't think you were here when we started off, and I said, many people will focus on their goals and work hard to achieve them, and destroy their bodies and their minds. When you do that, you end up paying all that money you've earned to fix your health, which is just the dumbest thing that we can do. Don't damage your health in the first place, and then you can enjoy your wealth. There's no point making millions if you can't enjoy. If you're burnt out, if you're mental, emotional wreck, there's no joy. I've never seen anyone enjoy those moments. That's the worst thing that can happen in life, right? That's why I'm so long protecting my mental well-being, because I must enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Yes.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And we're almost done. So, Annie, can you tell us how we can reach you? Anybody can reach you?
LinkedIn is my home. LinkedIn is where I spend all my time. So connect with me. So I'd love to know what you do. I know many people here, I think, already. If you haven't met my friends, DM me, and then let's have let's connect, and let's have a coffee chat. I'd love to know what you do. I'm
Absolutely.
going to put a link in the comment now, so feel free to
Awesome.
connect with me.
Awesome. Zion, go ahead. And let us also know how they can reach you, Zion, once you're done.
All right, thank you so much. Cora, that was a great question when it talks about clarity, for entrepreneurs as it pertains self-care. Because I'll give myself as an example. There was a time I felt very sick. I was really ill. I tell you, I didn't even think about business. I was thinking about goals. All I was thinking about is for me to get well and be fine. And at that point, clarity for business is not there or for decision making. It's just for me to take good care of myself. And if there's one thing that self care will do for you, it allows your brain to function well. It allows you to be more creative. By the time you get more sleep, by the time you eat good food, by the time you go to the gym and work out, all these things have a direct effect on your brain. And when your brain is working effectively and efficiently, it can allow you to think well, to brainstorm well, and then make a clearer decision. So self-care, it's very, very important. It's something that we cannot replace. You cannot replace it with a vision or with a goal. It's paramount and it's part of our life. So it's something that we have to embrace intentionally. And for those that want to reach out to me, I'm always on LinkedIn. You can do what to reach out to me on LinkedIn. It's the best platform for me. I'm always active. Send me a DM and see how we can collaborate as we continue to spread more positivity to every corner of the earth. So thank you so much, Mr. Eric. Are you the mic?
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And Carl, thank you for that question. Basically, the answer to that question is everything I said at the beginning, basically, right? So I just go down real quick. Set boundaries, right? Learn to say no so people aren't pulling you out everywhere. Exercise regularly, get more sleep, eat good food, let's see, connect with loved ones, laugh a lot. Those are the kind of things. I want to thank Tolu again. Look, she did it again. She helped us summarize what we said. Thank you so much, Tolu. We appreciate it. And Missy, I understand Missy is a friend to my good friend Tanya Tyler, I believe. Yes, and she's a walker. Awesome. Tanya Tyler, look, I watch her videos, and that's another thing. Watch people that you want to emulate. Tanya Tyler would do a video of her getting up at 5 a.m, walking in the cold, like putting up, you may not understand what I'm saying, Zion, but in America, it gets really cold, right? So she'll put on the gloves and the hat and everything, and she'd walk out and I'm like, wow, I used to just make an excuse when it's cold. Now I can actually go out because Tanya Tyler does that, right? So yeah, so sometimes you want to watch someone that inspires you. So Missy, we appreciate you. Thanks for being on. Hopefully we'll see you again. All right, welcome, Jeremy. Good to see you. Paulette, good to see you. Let's see, who else? Sorry if I missed you. And by the way, if I don't call on you for your question, it may be because we've already answered it and I don't want to go over it over and over. Okay. Let's see if we can get one more question. For handling situations where my boundaries are challenged. I think we talked about that. Hold on. Prevention is better than care. How can we build self-care consciousness? Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna go to Tolu because she worked hard for us. I gotta go to her question. You see, you give a lot, you get, right? You give a lot and you get. So Tolu says prevention is better than cure. How can we build self-care consciousness into the process of raising healthy families? That's good. That's good. Anybody want to share real quick? And we have 7 minutes, so we're gonna be quick about this one. Okay, go ahead, Annie.
Yeah, I guess this takes self-care to the bigger picture that it is. It's not just business, right? It's our whole lives, and I think our family is probably the most important thing to know, and where what we do to look after ourselves has the greatest impact. We think it's all about business. It's not. It's about the people around us. Our kids are seeing what we're doing, right? So I think building healthy habits, eating properly, eating healthy food. It's so important. I guess I'm lucky that some of them, my kids, like yours, Eric, often know better than we do. That they're healthier than we are. But we have to influence and model behavior that we want our kids, to display. So part of that is making sure our mental well-being is together as well. If we react like, I don't know, like freaks, literally, then our kids will learn that that's how you react. Whereas I want my kid to know, no, You know, you look after yourself first, and then you work hard. You plan your day. You're more intentional, as Zion said. You know, and you know, you aim for what you enjoy doing. You aim for a sense of purpose. That's all part of the picture, totally.
That's
Now,
right.
but build the habits into your day, into your routines, into your daily lives, and then your kids will see what you're saying. You know, the rest of your family will see what you're saying too.
That's right.
You know, parents who smoke, the kids smoke. Strange that.
Yeah, yeah. Our kids do what we do. Like we don't like you don't have to sit down with your kid to tell them what to do. They just follow you. They just follow you, like, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. I saw my dad. He started a company back in Nigeria, and he was a realtor, and he hired these people, and he taught them how to sell houses. And when they sell, they'll be happy. They'll thank him. And I said, I want to do a business where I teach people to do something, and then they thank me. It just, he never sat me down to tell me to do that, right? So they will follow you. They will follow what you do. Before I forget, for those of you that want to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and all of that also, but I'm on LinkedIn as well. Eric F. King. The main thing I do right now is help people that want to build their credibility, and they want to get the word out about their coaching or their consulting by speaking on my stage. Go to studiospeaking.com. Okay, and it's a live stage here in the United States, so you would actually have to fly down here. Studiospeaking.com. All right, for some reason I couldn't put it in the chat, but somebody put it in the chat for me. Studiospeaking.com. All right. Zion, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Eric. And Tolu, that was a very good question. If there's one thing I want to say, it's by leading by example. For most people, they will say, do what I say, I don't do what I do. When it comes to bringing an awareness and a consciousness in the family, when it comes to self-care, you have to lead by example. Don't tell your kids to drink water. At the end of the day, you are taking beverages. It does not work like that. So you have to lead by example. And secondly, tell them the reason why they should do what they are doing. Tell them the reason why they should get a good sleep. Tell them the reason why they should avoid sugar. Tell them the reason why they have to go to the gym. Because it's not just enough to say, don't do this, don't do this. What are the reasons behind do this and don't do this? Because we want to know the reasons. They want to know their benefits, the gain, the advantages of taking care of themselves. So by the time we begin to bring an awareness like this, the advantages of self-care, the advantages of looking after yourself, it can help bring a consciousness. It can help bring an awareness so that they can learn and say, oh, mommy or daddy is not just saying we should do this, but they have a reason, a very good reason that is beneficial for us to do what they say we should do. So for me, that's one way to bring an awareness when it comes to family and self-care. So thank you, Mr. Eric. How you doing?
Awesome. You're welcome. We're rounding down. My son went to college, university a couple months ago. He came to visit. Anyway, when I sat down to talk to him about things he shouldn't do, right? Imagine if I was doing those things. He won't listen to me, right? I said, look, if someone gives you anything to smoke, if someone gives you anything to relax before your exam, don't take it, because that thing can kill you. right. So if he saw me going around smoking, he'd be like, I don't know what he's talking about, right? So you gotta, walk the walk, right? All right. So we don't have any more time, but I'm gonna put this up because this guy Victor Akinola is his last name, and the teacher that changed my life is named Akinola. So let me go with it. Okay. Yes, some of you know the story. I went to high school in Nigeria, and one guy, the teacher Akinola, he put me in front of the class to speak, and I couldn't stand speaking, but he put me there, and I had to learn how to speak, and this is what I do for a living now. So I thank Mr. Akinola. So Victor says, can you share strategies for handling situations where my boundaries are challenged? So we got 1 minute, Zion. If you could tell us 1 minute how we can help Victor.
All right, thank you so much. Now, Victor, what do you stand for? You have to believe it. What you stand for, because boundaries will always be tested, boundaries will always be challenged. But what you stand for is what makes the difference. You must stand behind that. It doesn't matter what other people are saying. If you can believe in what you stand for, then even in the face of challenges, in the face of difficult time, you will continue to be that person that you are. So for me, it's one way I've been able to, face challenges that have, try to test my boundaries by believing in what I stand for, because it's the right thing to do.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. And he did it in 1 minute. Appreciate you. Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Zion. The ladies will be back next week. All right. We appreciate you. We will see all of you next week. Same time, same place. And Tolu, thank you again for putting up that information. And you can watch the replay, folks. You can watch the replay, send it to other people. We appreciate you. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure to be here with you today. Bye-bye, everybody. All right.